Results. Here with us on the quarter, this weekend's upcoming Formula One festivities in Vegas, Wynn CEO Craig Billings. Craig, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Was it Macau weakness? What happened there in that report that led shares to slide so much? I know it was an earnings miss, but tell us what's happening in Macau.
Yeah, I think you've seen a lot of downward movement in our Hong Kong listed equity, as well as those of our peers. And so it seems like the market, particularly the Hong Kong market, had expectations of the Macau recovery that didn't seem to pan out in this quarter's results. I was candidly a little bit surprised because when I look at the results, here we are, a year after effectively being closed, and we're run rating about $1 billion of EBITDA. The market is recovering at a reasonable pace, and we're just in a much, much better position in Macau. So I took great comfort in our results for the quarter, and I think time will prove that the reaction was a little bit overdone.
So the recovery there is intact in Macau, because the other sort of mixed signals coming from China on the economic growth and credit growth and everything they've been doing to stimulate, and whether that's really working.
Yeah, it is intact, and generally speaking, Macau doesn't correlate all that closely with broader Chinese macro, the broader Chinese macro economy, and so the recovery is intact, and it's moving ahead, and we're pleased with our results, and frankly, the market's gross gaming revenue.
And Vegas seems to be doing just fine. What are you seeing in terms of demand?
Yeah, you're right. The team here in the third quarter absolutely knocked the cover off the ball once again. Our revenue was up 14% over last year's quarter, and that was on an incredibly tough comp. Casino volumes were up, hotel revenue was up 10%. Activity at the property was truly frenetic during the quarter. And there's a lot of complexity out there in the world right now between inflation, rates, geopolitics, et cetera. But right now, things continue to look pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of inflation, the CPI print today had hotels down 2.9. A lot of economists don't expect that to last, in part because the survey data of consumers indicates they still have huge pent-up demand for travel. I just wonder how you think pricing shapes up in the months ahead.
Well, our consumer's a little bit unique. We tend to focus on the luxury and aspirational consumers, and we have seen rates and RevPAR that have continued to be very, very strong. You saw that in our third quarter, and we commented on it with respect to October as well. So we can continue to see pricing power in the market.
Is that continuing? I mean, is there any sign of softness or slowdown in the high end?
Not here. Our 2024 group demand, which is really the longest dated demand that we have in the book at any given point in time, is incredibly strong, which helps us yield the rest of our rooms, the leisure component of our rooms. And so we continue to see very, very healthy average daily rates in the hotel.
Let's talk Formula One. Let's talk about the main story here. Craig appears for everyone in the documentary that's going to air on November 16th at 8 p.m. I talked to you about how you were early to sign on, Craig, and get Wynn. You saw a very clear brand match here between Wynn customers and Formula One fans. Talk to us about what your expectations are for this week.
Our expectations are pretty strong, and I think you touched on it. I certainly can't speak to other operators here in town, but our view of the event really hasn't changed one bit over the course of the past year or since you and I spoke. We knew from the beginning that this would be our customer. We knew it would be a luxury customer. We knew it would be an aspirational customer, and that's for whom we are built. So, in fact, we barely put any rooms on public sale for F1. Most of them were sold privately. I expect demand on the casino segment of our business, which is really evidenced by the amount of front money that we have, customers sending in with which to gamble, or credit that we will be extending, to exceed any event in the history of Wynn Las Vegas. So it's shaping up to look very, very strong.